Welcome to the Unlock Wellness Podcast. I'm Dr. Casey. Excited to have my friend Ellie Krueger on today. She has completely transformed her own health and her mindset in the last few years that I've known her personally. And Ellie recently had a baby girl and has been dedicated to learning all that she can about progressing with fitness postpartum and also maintaining the mindset that is needed to accomplish that. So we're going to be jumping into a lot of postpartum fitness, nutrition, mindset today. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But Ellie, thank you so much for coming on. I'm excited to have you.
Thank you so much, Casey. We're excited to be here.
Baby Madison's there too.
She is.
Yeah. So why don't you just jump into your backstory a little bit and just talk to people about how your wellness journey has progressed for you?
I guess for me, fitness kind of really started in college. I did play sports growing up and stuff, so I was always really active and liked being active. But it wasn't really till college that I had to learn how to do, exercise on my own because I didn't have sports year round to maintain that for me. So I definitely got really into at least learning about lifting weights and doing cardio and stuff. But I never really had like an established routine. And I kind of noticed later that I don't know if I was doing a lot of fitness stuff for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. I think like end of high school into college, struggled with like anxiety and depression. And my mom is a nurse. She's retired now, but at the time she was at RN. And I remember, talking to her a lot about it. And we did try a couple different prescriptions. I think I tried like 3 or 4 of them. And I just didn't really like the way that they made me feel. And so exercise for a really long time for me just became about, just not taking a prescription, but like maintaining a certain level of, happiness. And I used it to feel better for a long time, which I know sounds like the right reason, but I still was like, kind of killing myself for a while. I was doing like really long cardio sessions and being really restrictive with eating and stuff. So, I guess that's kind of what I mean when I say like I never really had like an established routine for a while until it was 2013, 2014. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2013. I was doing CrossFit at the time because obviously my workouts needed to increase to a level of extremeness. So I was doing CrossFit and I really did like it, but I really don't think I was doing CrossFit for, the right reasons necessarily. But I was working out at a gym in Jacksonville, Florida, and I met Zach Zovath, and he and his wife, who you have interviewed on this podcast.
Yeah, go back and listen if you haven't. For those of you listening to Dr. Erin Zovath and her husband Zach Zovath, they're both amazing. So you'll love them.
Yes, they are. And honestly, like anything that I've ever talked about or teach other people, like it's never been things that I was like, hey, I think this is a great idea. It's literally all been taught to me, and I implemented it, and it's just, how me and my family live. So I definitely don't want to take credit for anything. It's all been, I've been very blessed to be surrounded by like a lot of great resources and people who I really do trust. But they are one of them. So I met Zach. We did CrossFit together, and he started telling me about the health center that they were opening. So I remember, the day that Zach started telling me about the 5 essentials, I was sitting on a box in the CrossFit gym, and I remember just being so interested in what it was he was saying. And I went into the office. I think actually I got hurt doing a workout, and that's when I met his wife. But I had already learned about what they did, but I did go in for the chiropractic side and went through the evaluation, had x-rays done, actually learned a lot about, I had a rotated atlas, and Dr. Erin spent a lot of time telling me about, some of the emotional triggers that can happen when structurally you're off in that, part of your spine. But so I started getting chiropractic care and then learning a lot about the other essentials, learning about, better nutrition, learning about more optimal exercise and, why we exercise. And I think from the minute I became a patient there, I just went all in. And, I became like obsessed with it. But for me, that was not something that I was obsessed with for the wrong reasons. It was just, I was so interested in learning more and more and more. And, this doctor and her husband were just, so full of information. I just absorbed as much as I could. So I changed the way that I was eating. I definitely started doing more higher fats, grass-fed meats, organic meats, antibiotic-free, hormone-free, learning about things that are important to buy organic, things that don't matter. And then exercise, I started doing, similar to CrossFit. It's very high intensity work, but much shorter workouts. So working out a lot harder for a shorter amount of time and, just learning about the benefits of that style of training. And then I just, kept doing it. It's how, I hope to bring Madison up in the world. And, that's just, I guess, a good just snippit of
yeah, no, that's awesome. And I kind of mentioned it in the intro, but Ellie and I met. Man, Ellie, I don't even know what year.
We met at camp.
Yeah, what year was that?
I mean, it was probably 2015, I think, because I remember going through some stuff personally around that time.
Yeah, it was close to that, right? 14,
yep.
15. Yeah, yep. But I mean, just you've changed so much in that time period, yeah. Like for the better, like just all positive things.
Yeah.
But it's been cool to watch you progress and just get better in all aspects of your life.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting too when you were talking about like at the beginning you were doing exercise for all of the wrong reasons, and yeah. I don't know if there's ever been any like research about this at all, but because we both know like the type of hormonal effects that can happen when you're under a state of stress and like different effects that can have on you on like a cellular level. Like, yeah. I wonder how much it makes it worse if you have that and you're pushing yourself way harder and you're feeling negative about the exercise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way that kind of snowballs.
Snowball effect. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
But whenever you're doing it for the right reasons, you have a better mindset. Yeah, that actually affects you positively in a cellular yep. way. Yeah, so I need to look into that because that would be like super interesting to talk about. But yeah, so
I didn't go to school not long enough to talk to you about that.
No, no. Hey, I don't know it either. but yeah, so you learned a lot from Zach and Dr. Aaron. You actually worked with them for a while, and then recently you were pregnant and you had baby Madison. So if you wanted to go into how transforming your wellness, your mindset, how that affected your pregnancy and how it's affecting you right now as a new mom.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. It was yesterday, I think, how Facebook has like those memories.
Yeah.
A picture
and they're always super depressing because you're like, oh my gosh, like when did they get so good? This one was
actually really it was cute because I was holding my little cousin Jake and it was 3 years ago. He had to have been, I don't know, maybe 6 months old. And someone commented in the comment section, like, Ellie's going to make such a good mom someday. And I was like, man, if you would have told me 3 years ago, like, you're going to have a child, I would have been like, no way. But it was super, I don't know where that came from. But yeah, it was funny. It was actually, the picture was taken at Bold City where I used to work.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's cool because, again, like, a lot of the stuff that I learned there is why, I chose to have the type of pregnancy that I did. And I think it's important to say that because it is a choice on how you go through your pregnancy and how you view it and what you want it to be like. And I think it's really important because I think it helps, after you're not pregnant, however you viewed the whole process can definitely translate into the postpartum side of it.
Right. Because it's not just one event, like it all runs together and what you do at the beginning affects right now. And like, I think people try to like compartmentalize pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, postpartum when it's like, it's all interconnected.
Yeah, and it really is. I mean, for me, I think obviously I continued to get adjusted throughout my pregnancy. But for me, a lot of the progress came from learning about, mindset stuff. So, doing affirmations and listening to guided meditation. And, I really love that app Headspace because it's like 5 minutes, I think. So I would use that during my pregnancy. And I made sure to just surround myself with people who were like-minded. So, you were one of them. I reached out to you a ton during my pregnancy, Dr. Aaron. I worked for a chiropractor here in Orlando. any friends who had done like a natural approach, because I did have her at a birth center, I made sure to kind of really surround myself with those people and ask questions and, state concerns and just talk through things with people who had done it and people who had done it the way that I wanted to do it.
Because if they've done it, that takes a lot of stress off you wondering if you're doing the right thing or not.
Yeah.
And instead of jumping on Google where it's terrifying and you can't live on Google when you're pregnant or actually anytime.
Ever.
It's just awful.
You cannot ever go.
To never consult with Dr. Google. It's never a good choice.
No. But yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of a mental game. Pregnancy, postpartum has just been such a mental thing more than anything. I mean, obviously you go through huge physical changes, but mentally you go through a lot, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can't handle the physical changes if you're not mentally strong, like if you don't have the right mindset with all of it. And I love that you did meditation with Headspace. I use that as well. And there's actually, I was talking to Dr. Lindsay Matthews. She was a past guest as well. She started BirthFit. And, and she was talking about, they actually have an app that is kind of like Headspace, but for pregnancy, which is really awesome. And I really cannot remember right off what that is called. I'm sure if you Google meditation app for pregnancy, it would pop up. But that would also be I wish I knew about that as well. And then I use like a birthing meditation that I every day. It was like 40, like it was hard. It was like 45 minutes every single day, like the last like 3 weeks. And even though obviously, and even though like obviously labor is extremely hard, and it was for me like 18 hours of, I mean, it was really hard, but I can't imagine not having the focus that I had, that I gained from doing the mindset work and the meditation and just preparing myself. Like, I can do this. It's a mind game. Like, breathe through it. Our bodies are made to do this. It's all that. It all, comes down to that. Yeah. I agree.
I mean, I wish I could say that my mindset is what got me through it, but I think a lot of the mindset training is what got me through labor. But honestly, for me, it was the people around me. Like I had my husband, I had the midwife in the room. I had two of my best friends who are chiropractors. I FaceTimed Dr. Aaron like during it, like multiple times. Like That's awesome. Had the right people in my corner because I wanted to give up. Like I really did. And thankfully I had expressed how important certain things were for me. And I had a team of people behind me who were there to remind me of that. Absolutely.
And same here. And I think that's super important. I had, my mom was in there so she had the emotional support. And then Travis had watched me meditate every day. So he was just like, listen, like your body was made to do this, like breathe. I think it's just when you have that support of, what you want to do with it, I think that's what it comes down to. It's like you were talking about having the right people with you. Like, if you were wanting to do this at a birthing center and you wanted to meditate but your husband wasn't on board, like that's going to cause some stress and some issues. And then you probably wouldn't have been able to have it at a birthing center because your mindset wouldn't have been there. Yeah. So it's definitely important to have that support. So, so you had Madison, and she's beautiful. I love watching, seeing all of her pictures and her videos. But so I know you do a lot on the fitness aspect of not just postpartum, but you've always been really into fitness, and you post a lot of videos and content that is amazing. So what was your biggest obstacle when it came to, I don't want to say getting back because it's just a process, right? So what's been your biggest, the hardest thing you've had to deal with, just getting back to fitness and just making a routine for you that works?
I mean, I think as a first-time mom, the hardest thing for me has been, I used to love getting up early and, doing, your morning rituals and reading and doing devotionals and journaling and, working out and doing it in an order and, going throughout your day structured.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest thing for me was just realizing that suddenly life had no structure to it. And no matter how hard you tried, every day was different. And, there were days that were super frustrating and like pity party. And then there was days that was like, I could take on the world. I feel awesome. I feel so motivated. But just the ups and downs of that, and not, being able to have necessarily the exact same schedule that I was used to. And, now I kind of look at it as like, I can have that same schedule. I just have to be more flexible.
Yeah.
I can still wake up early and do things, but, I can't control sometimes when she's going to be up or when she's going to need something, or I can't control when her tooth's going to come in.
Right.
There's just things that I've had to really learn, let go of the control of your schedule, but still move forward and have that momentum, with your goals that you want to reach. So just give yourself some grace and be okay with every day not being exactly how you want it to, but still know the things that you want to do, you can still do. They'll just happen at different times.
Right. No, I agree. I've had that same problem too, because I mean, we were both in offices where, that's just what we did. We got up early, we worked out,
Yep.
We read, we got ourselves in the right state, and it's definitely still important. But like you said, just at a different time if you have to, be flexible.
Yeah.
I know right now, like, I'm used to getting up at like 6. It's a lot more difficult right now to do that. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that helps me, just knowing that it's fine. Like, push it back a little bit. It's all going to be good. So
yep.
No, I 100%.
That's usually
agree.
what I tell like my friends too. It's like, we have a small group of women who are doing workouts and stuff together. And, I have full-time working moms. I have stay-at-home full-time working moms.
Mm-hmm.
I have stay-at-home moms who aren't working. I have, moms whose kids are, going to daycare. I have a whole group of women, and, it's really cool because some of us can do certain things in the morning and some of us can't. And, I'm watching these people make things happen regardless of what time it is. Like my cousin has been doing her workouts at night when the kids go to sleep. And I know that's the last time people want to work out, but she made a commitment, and, you just do things at different times, and
Right.
It's okay. Like, I'm giving all the moms out there, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it is okay to do it when you can do it.
Right. No, I love that. That's amazing. So I know you've been posting a lot of your workouts as, videos for people to go and check out, and just to inspire and just give them workout ideas. So was there, you stick to mainly like high intensity, like short duration. If you kind of wanted to go into why you do that and why it actually makes it a lot easier for moms, because it's quick and it's effective, and and how that's positively and affected you, and just touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. So, the workout style that I learned obviously came from, the offices that I worked in, and it was always, 12-minute workouts, short, high intensity workouts. And I think those are really good postpartum, just because there is that restoring of, hormone levels and things, and it's a short amount of time. So, what mom wouldn't love to get her butt kicked in 12 minutes and literally feel like she just worked out, for a good hour, which is the goal of it. Now I realize that can't happen right away after you have a kid. But
I think we both realize that.
Unfortunately.
Messaging you, Ellie, I keep peeing in my pants.
Yeah. Which literally I think happened for the first time last week.
Oh gosh, it's the worst.
But like doing like workouts like that it gets you to be really creative, because, I have DVDs that I can follow that teach that style of workout. But basically what I've done is like taken an Excel sheet, written down like all the body weight movements that I can think of. And then I have like Monday through Friday or whatever days of the week you want to work out. And I just like put together my own workouts based on like upper body or lower body workouts. And yeah, it's fun because I have to get creative. I set my timer to a certain, time. Madison's saying hi.
Hey, Madison.
But if I can't do that, actually, and I know not everybody has this opportunity, but, I got a membership at the Y, which was cool because they were able to take babies as early as 6 weeks. And I wasn't even ready to fully work out at that time, but I started taking some classes. I joined a soccer league, all these things that I wasn't doing before.
Right.
You just kind of make your workouts different and fun, and they become a little bit more family focused. Like if I do workouts here at home, Madison's usually laying on the floor underneath me, and you do what you do. But yeah, I like that short, high intensity workout. I like being able to piece together things myself and just getting creative. Like, honestly, I wish I could say I had a routine, but it's kind of like what isn't sore today, and I'll work that out. And you just make up, like, do some movements for a minute or 30 seconds and give yourself, very short breaks. I think the longest break I take is like 30 seconds, and then you get back into it and modify where you need to, and, listen to your body, do what you can, but push yourself.
Right. Are you keeping them at 12 minutes, or are you doing a little bit more?
Yeah, those ones are 12. Actually, I have a couple that are at 8 minutes. Then the workouts at the Y are different, obviously, because those are classes that are led by somebody else, so they're a little bit longer. But yeah, I keep, just short workouts to 12 minutes is the max usually. Yeah. If I can make it that long.
Yeah. Well, you have to take into account too, like if you're doing a workout, like, if you're at the Y working out, it's your actual workout time might be about that time, because you have to take, you're taking longer breaks, you're walking from machine to weight to machine. So it's when you take shorter breaks, you're still doing a lot of work. It's just you're not resting as much or wasting that transition time. So it is a lot of work.
Definitely keeping your heart rate up, which is the goal in these workouts.
Right. No, I love that you made an Excel sheet. It just helps with the variety of it. Because I think we get kind of caught up in keeping it. Sometimes it gets repetitive, and then when it gets too repetitive, it gets boring. So I love that you're doing like the soccer league and stuff too. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Did you play soccer, or just trying to get out there and run around?
I did. I played high school. I didn't make my college team, but I played intramurals in college, and then now I'm playing as a 30-year-old.
Making your second
Making my second comeback.
That's hilarious. That's funny. So so what's in the future for you? I know that you're putting out a lot of content out there. We talked beforehand, you're going to start a blog, put all your videos, put all your content on there, right? So that's coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, and she'll
whether I have my hands tied behind my back to do it or not, it's coming up.
We already decided Ellie's going to do it. So if you're listening, you have to keep Ellie accountable and write on her Instagram like, hey, what's the blog link? Because it's going to happen.
You got it. No, it's in the mix. It's actually going to go live tonight.
Perfect. That's what I'd like to hear. But yeah, so Ellie, what is the best way for people to follow you on social media? And that way they can keep up with your workouts and all of the content that you're putting out there, and be able to find your link to your blog whenever you launch that tonight.
You're so sneaky.
No pressure.
No pressure. Honestly, I like Instagram the best. Yeah. I usually just share things from Instagram to Facebook. But yeah, Instagram, it's el.krueg.
Perfect. Awesome. And then I'll put all of those links in the show notes, so that way you can just go and click and keep up with what Ellie's doing. She puts up a lot with nutrition and mindset as well, so you'll definitely get a lot out of following her. And if you know anybody that is pregnant, or a new mom, or just a mom in general, or really anybody looking to get healthier with their fitness, nutrition, or mindset, be sure to share this episode with them, because knowing this kind of stuff, especially before you have a baby, is super beneficial, and it just expands your community of people that are, like Ellie was saying, just that are like-minded. And that community, makes all of the difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So closing question, Ellie, that I ask every guest: if you just have one piece of advice that you could share with the audience, maybe it's something that really impacted your wellness journey, but if you just had the one piece of advice to give, what would it be?
My dad always said this to me from when I was little till when I can remember, but he always just said, leave no stone unturned. So I would just tell people, don't feel like there's opportunities out there that you can't go after, or things that you can't try. Just be, open-minded and try anything that interests you, or anything that you like, or anything that you want, and go after it.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's amazing. I love it. But thank you so much, Ellie, for taking time to come on. I know you're busy with baby Madison right now, but tell her thank you for coming on her first podcast as well.
She says it was awesome. She's sitting on my knee right now. Like, are we done?
All right, Ellie. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you loved my conversation with Ellie. Just like we were talking about at the end of the episode, you can go check out Ellie's new blog. It's yourlifewithmomentum.com. So be sure to go check that out and keep up with her social media posts, because I'm sure she'll be keeping you up to date when those blog posts are going to be new. So definitely stay up to date with Ellie. If you needed all of her links that we spoke about, and also her new website link, you can find those in the show notes But you can also go to drkaseyjohnson.com. It's DRKASEY Johnson.com and click on the Listen tab. And from there, you can find every past guest that has come on the Unlock Wellness podcast, more information about each guest, all of their links. That way you can just click and follow them on social media or check out their website. So definitely check her out there as well. And then if you enjoyed today's episode, jump on iTunes, subscribe, and write a review. It really helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate the support. So thank you guys so much for tuning in.